The boy recalled his extensive knowledge about centipedes, as if flipping through a mental book. In his mind, he scanned through the information and soon found what he was looking for. Back in reality, he told the elders he might know where to find the creature. The men were surprised and eager to know where. The boy asked about the areas they had already searched. They had looked north and east of the academy, mostly during the day, focusing on the riverside to the north. He wasn't surprised they hadn't found it. He explained, "Of course you couldn't find it." The elder was curious about what he meant by "of course." They urged him to explain. Centipedes, being part of the Arthropoda phylum and Chilopoda class, have a wide range and, being cold-blooded, require shelter to regulate their temperature and humidity. Another interesting fact is that, unlike most insects with a waterproof layer, centipedes have weak waterproofing and pores on their shells. So they don't actually prefer wet places. They need high humidity but dislike being overly wet, yet they can't survive long without water. Thus, the blue spot centipede is unlikely to be found in jungles or by the river. The elders were surprised, as they thought centipedes preferred places like rotten wood cracks. The boy explained that while small ones might be found there, they were searching for a big one. Large centipedes can't stay in jungles or near river rocks because they wouldn't be able to hide. The elders exchanged glances, nodding in silent agreement. They asked where they could find the centipede, promising the boy a big reward if they succeeded. The boy smiled. He pointed west, suggesting they search the Rocky Mountains in that direction. Centipedes enjoy resting under warm rocks during the day and come out at night. A few hours later, they were at the Rocky Mountains, searching thoroughly. The patriarch stood atop a tall, narrow rock, watching closely. One man approached him, suggesting the young warrior might be mistaken. He decided it was time to call it a day. He ordered the signal arrow to be fired, gathering the search team. As the arrow flew, the men gathered around a bonfire. Though exhausted, they still hoped the young warrior was right. They wondered why the centipede remained elusive but believed in the boy's intelligence. The patriarch remained silent. Eventually, with a pained expression, he spoke of his daughter, Hue-yun, considered the most exceptional talent in the Tang family's history. He questioned if the heavens had abandoned her. Suddenly, someone announced the Grand Patriarch's return. The patriarch welcomed him back, and they gathered around the bonfire. The Grand Patriarch asked if he had also failed to find the centipede. The patriarch confirmed that he too had failed. He asked if the Grand Patriarch had the same outcome, and the Grand Patriarch nodded. Hue-yun had at most 3 months left. He doubted they could find the centipede in just 10 days. Silence fell over the group. The patriarch suggested exploring the south the next day since they hadn't found any traces there. The Grand Patriarch agreed, noting the lack of traces. This statement sparked a realization in the patriarch. He laughed heartily, admitting he couldn't believe what he had overlooked. He declared that they were indeed in the right place. The patriarch asked if the Grand Patriarch had noticed something. The Grand Patriarch replied no, but as the patriarch mentioned, he hadn't sensed any presence or trace. The patriarch was puzzled. The Grand Patriarch explained that the absence of traces suggested it was there. He asked the patriarch if he had seen any signs in the past 3 days. The patriarch admitted he hadn't seen any animals, droppings, or territorial markings. That was when the patriarch understood. The Grand Patriarch clarified that it was exactly as it seemed. It was unusual not to find any animal traces on such a large mountain. The patriarch considered the possibility of a territorial creature. The Grand Patriarch suspected that other animals had either fled or become prey to the centipede. He patted the patriarch's shoulder, assuring him that the blue spot centipede was indeed there. They felt hopeful that they could save Hue-yun. The patriarch wore a sad yet hopeful expression of a father. Suddenly, they felt the ground tremble. Alertness spread through the group. Panic set in as cracks appeared in the ground. The area around the bonfire began to crumble. Unexpectedly, it rose from the earth. Confusion swept over them as they tried to understand what was happening. A limb emerged from the ground, soon followed by another. They pointed at the creature as it surfaced, fear gripping them. Even the Grand Patriarch was filled with unease. Several more limbs emerged. It was indeed the blue spot centipede, and it was massive. Back at the academy, the boy grumbled about the commotion. He wondered just how large the centipede was, given all the noise. He remarked on how he had merely suggested searching for it, yet they seemed to be turning the mountain upside down. He was fascinated by the idea of a centipede big enough to swallow him whole. Being a fan of poison Pokemon, he thought he'd really like to see it.
So, friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next? We'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.